Okay, hi everyone. Today we are going to be looking at our reading from the Yelllow Wallpaper and my annotations for that first reading. So, because I'm trying to simplify your life, I'm not making you do a annotation on the current reading. I wanted to show you what I would expect in a more typical setting, and also this is sort of how to help yourself read, especially something that has maybe some like old vocabulary, which this was written a long time ago. And so it takes almost like a little translation, like taking it from the old language to the new language or to our modern language. Okay, so right now I'm going to just show you some of my annotations. So the first one I marked was having to do with the term secure ancestral halls. And that sounds very old fashioned. And so I had to say, all right, well, what does that probably mean? And so here is my annotation. I highlighted this. I went to my highlighter and then I made a comment after that. So when you highlight something, it will give you this little plus sign so that you can add a comment. So in this one, I put ancestral sounds like ancestor. So maybe this is a place that is either from their family or it's just old. Okay. And then the word felicity, that was a word that maybe I'm not the most familiar with. So I went ahead and I put that down too as a question mark. I highlighted it in green because I wanted to put my vocabulary words in a separate color for highlighting. So I know that that's just a vocabulary word I'm unfamiliar with. And I went ahead and looked it up, and it means intense happiness. So I can kind of replace that now. So when I read it, I can say, and reach the height of romantic happiness. Okay. In this case, I think romantic means like romantic is in like romanticizing, not like a romantic love. Our next one, else, why should it let so cheaply, and why have stood so long untenanted? This is where I go with let's translate into our modern language. Oops, I went too far. So you'll see I have this comment here. So if I was to stop and really look at that, really what she's saying is the rent was cheap and it had been empty for a long time. So she's curious, like what's going on with this house? If it's not haunted, why was the rent so cheap and why was it empty for so long? Now my next one is just like ooh, okay, we're getting somewhere in the story. That's why I highlighted it in green. So she says, perhaps that is one reason I do not get well faster. You see, he does not believe I am sick. So I wrote here, we have a clue to something. She must be sick. So there's something about our narrator because she's telling you the story. Well, if she's sick, her version of this story is going to be different than maybe if her husband was telling the story. And also we need to know, like, how is she sick? What's wrong with her? Is she going to get better? My next one is a green. So I have phosphates in green. And you'll see what I did for this one. Oh, by the way, I also put when he said, you see, he does not believe I am sick. I commented, her husband doesn't believe his wife. That's not good. Okay. And, oh, I forgot something here. Before phosphate, sorry. A physician of high standing. Once again, I wanted to sort of translate that a little bit. And so I have on my notes, a physician of high standing. That's really just saying that he's a doctor with a good reputation. And then we have another clue about her illness. She says that her husband says that she has a temporary nervous condition or nervous depression, a slight hysterical tendency. So temporary, meaning it's not supposed to last, nervous, and then depression. So, and then hysterical tendency, meaning that she gets, hysterical, which is a term that's usually only used for women, by the way. And we can get to that later. So then I have on this another clue to her illness. And then you'll just see I have a couple other comments about these things in my notes. So I'm going to post this. I'm going to ask for some comments on it, but hopefully this helps you also with the first reading.